Have you ever stood in front of your closet, holding up a trendy blouse and wondering, is this too much? Or maybe you've reached for something you used to love, only to sigh and think, this just doesn't feel like me anymore. You're not alone. So many women over 50 live in this quiet in-between, not wanting to dress like their granddaughters, but also not wanting to feel like they've faded into the background. It's that silent tug-of-war between staying relevant and staying authentic. Because let's be honest, fashion isn't just about fabric and fit. It's about how you feel in what you wear. It's about presence, poise, and the quiet power of showing up for yourself. So, if you've ever felt like your wardrobe is saying, I gave up, or the latest trend is shouting, look at me, but neither of them feels like you, then this video is for you. Today, I'll walk you through some of the new viral trends for summer 2025, but carefully curated with you in mind. These are not the fast, flashy looks flooding the internet. These are pieces that whisper style, that move with your body, not against it, that make you feel like yourself again, only lighter, brighter, and maybe a bit bolder. And no, this isn't about trying to look young. This is about dressing with intention. It's about looking current, but never like you're trying too hard. It's about saying, I still have style, I still have a story. So let's not chase loud runways. Let's begin with quiet elegance, the kind that slips into your everyday life and stays. If this resonates with you, if you've ever asked yourself, what should I even wear this season? Then I invite you to stay with me, because what's coming next might just change how you see yourself in the mirror. And if you're already nodding along, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, so you don't miss the next chapter in your style journey. Trend 1, the unstructured summer blazer. Let's start with something unexpected. Not a dress, not a blouse, but a blazer. Now, before you picture stiff shoulders or corporate meetings, pause for a moment. Because the summer 2025 blazer we're seeing everywhere this season is nothing like what we wore in our 40s. It's softer, lighter, freer, and yet it still frames your presence in the most graceful way. You see, this isn't about structure, it's about support. Unstructured blazers in breathable fabrics like linen or cotton linen blends are having a quiet moment right now. They drape, not dominate. They say, I'm here, without ever having to raise their voice. And that's exactly the kind of energy many of us crave at this stage in life. Because after 50, we know what we bring into a room. We don't need our clothes to shout. We just need them to reflect that quiet strength back at us. A well-cut summer blazer does exactly that. It gives your silhouette a touch of elegance, without cinching, pulling, or overwhelming your frame. It glides over the shoulders. It falls just where it needs to. And it pairs effortlessly with pieces you already own, whether it's wide-leg pants, a flowy midi skirt, or even a sleeveless tank that you weren't quite sure how to wear confidently. It becomes the bridge between casual and composed, between comfort and class. And most importantly, it reminds you that you don't need to sacrifice ease for elegance. Sometimes all it takes is that one layer, the right texture, the right cut, to bring your whole look and your whole presence into harmony. So the next time you find yourself reaching for a cardigan because it's easy, consider this instead. Consider wrapping yourself in something that offers just enough definition to say, I still care, but just enough freedom to say, I'm done with proving anything. This trend isn't loud. It won't go viral on teenagers' TikToks. But when you wear it, you'll feel something shift, like you've given your posture back to yourself. Trend 2, the new belted shirt dress. There's a certain type of dress we all once loved, the shirt dress. Classic, simple, effortless. But somewhere along the way, it became too safe, too shapeless, too easy to hide in. And while comfort is sacred, especially in the heat of summer, there's a quiet danger in clothes that make us disappear. But this year, something beautiful is happening. The belted shirt dress has been reinvented. And it's not about squeezing or sculpting. It's about redefining what presence means, on your terms. These new cuts are designed with you in mind, softly structured, with gentle seams that follow the body's rhythm, belts that gather fabric without grabbing, waists that whisper shape, not demand it. And the result? A silhouette that says, I am still here, I still take up space, and I'm proud of the woman I've become. There's something profoundly emotional about putting on a dress that reminds you of your shape, but doesn't judge it. It's not trying to recreate the waistline of your 20s. It's honoring the figure of a woman who's lived, loved, and led. And maybe it brings you back to that version of yourself you miss sometimes, not because she was younger, but because she felt visible. This trend is more than fabric. It's permission to cinch, to stand, to be seen. And whether you're heading to brunch, an art gallery, or simply running errands, this dress becomes a statement, not to others, but to yourself. A quiet reminder that you can embrace ease and elegance, comfort and confidence, flow and form. So, the next time you reach for something baggy, just to be safe, I hope you remember this. You don't need to hide to feel comfortable. You just need the right shape of softness and the courage to let the world see you in it. Trend 3, leather flats that whisper. Let's talk about something close to the ground, but never beneath you. Shoes. In our younger years, we often let heels define our presence. We use them to elevate, to assert, to step into rooms with click-clack confidence. But now we know that strength doesn't need sound, and confidence doesn't need inches. That's why one of the quietest yet most elegant trends of summer 2025 is the return of leather flats with character. Not ballerina flats that feel too dainty, not orthopedic shapes that forget who you are, but grounded, well-crafted flats, designed to move with you, not hold you back. These shoes aren't here to be loud. They're here to be loyal. They're the kind you can wear to the farmer's market, then out to dinner without ever feeling underdressed. They carry textures like soft grain leather, warm earthy tones, or small hand-stitched details that feel like they've lived a little, just like you. And isn't that the point? You've walked through so many chapters of life. Your steps deserve to feel supported, and beautiful, and free. There's something empowering about sliding into a pair of shoes that make no apology for being flat, yet feel entirely elevated. They don't say trying, they say knowing. Knowing who you are, where you're going, and what truly matters under your feet. Because at this stage, you don't need your shoes to carry attention. You need them to carry you with grace, ease, and quiet pride. So, if you've been avoiding the mirror because the heels don't fit, or settling for comfort that comes at the cost of style, this is your invitation to find both. To slip into shoes that don't hurt your back, and don't hurt your self-respect either. They won't scream fashion, but when you walk in them, you just might feel like yourself again. Trend 4, sculpted tops that respect your arms. There's a quiet moment that happens in many dressing rooms, one you might know too well. You try on a top, it fits beautifully around the shoulders, the neckline, the waist, but then you look at your arms, and something in you pulls back. It's not about shame, it's about stories. Memories held in skin that softened, in curves that weren't always there, in time that shows up even when we didn't invite it. And so, too often, we say no. No to sleeveless, no to short sleeves, no to anything that might reveal more than we're ready to show. But here's the truth. You don't have to hide your arms to feel elegant. You just need clothes that honor them. That's what this new trend in sculpted tops is all about. Designers are finally listening. They're creating shapes that don't just cover the arm, they celebrate its form. Think lightweight fabrics that drape gently over the shoulder. Think sleeves that move with the breeze, not against your skin. Think quiet tailoring that doesn't cut or cling, but but softly frames. There's poetry in these pieces, because they give you something you didn't realize you missed. Permission. Permission to wear short sleeves again, to feel the sun, to feel seen. You don't need capes to feel strong. You don't need to layer yourself in fabric to feel secure. You need clothes that remind you. Your body has earned the right to be both comfortable and beautiful. And maybe more than anything, you need to look in the mirror and see kindness reflected back. These tops aren't about hiding flaws. They're about shifting focus from what's changed to what still holds grace, still moves with purpose, still belongs. So if you've been folding your arms in photos or pulling down your sleeves when no one's watching, maybe this is the season you stop apologizing, not because the world tells you to, but because you're ready. So here we are. We've walked through quiet blazers that soften the frame, dresses that bring the body back into balance, shoes that ground us with quiet dignity, tops that say, "You are still allowed to feel beautiful." And maybe, as you listened, something stirred. A memory, a hesitation, a hope you didn't expect. Because this isn't really about trends, not at its core. This is about standing in front of the mirror and no longer looking away. It's about getting dressed and feeling like yourself, not a version of who you used to be, and not a shadow of who the world expects you to become. It's about presence, that quiet, undeniable feeling of showing up, fully, gracefully, unapologetically. After 50, style doesn't scream. It whispers, and that whisper says, "I still matter. I still have a story to tell, and I deserve to feel good in my skin." The pieces we talked about today aren't meant to transform you. They're meant to remind you of your softness, of your power, of your ability to evolve without erasing who you are. So the next time you get dressed, whether it's for brunch or a walk through the garden or simply to be with yourself, ask not, "Is this trendy?" Ask, "Does this feel like me? Does this respect the woman I've become?" And if the answer is yes, then that's not just fashion, that's freedom. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which piece spoke to you the most today? Was it the blazer, the sculpted top, or maybe just a sentence you weren't expecting to need? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if this video made you feel a little more like you, a like or a share means the world. Because women like us, we're not fading. We're just becoming quieter and more powerful than ever.